Hey there, Python programmers. In today's video, we're going to continue learning about classes and deal with one other type of method. So far, we've talked about instance methods, again, attached to an instance of a class, always has to have self as one of its parameters. And then we also talked about class methods where, hey, we're passing instances of classes. So we had our cat factory, which again made us three cats all at once. So today we're going to talk about static methods. And similar to these class methods, static methods certainly have their set use cases. Again, most likely you're still going to be using these instant methods most of the time, but static methods are helpful. A static method does not have a connection to the class. In other words, it's not going to need self. It should not interact with any of our attributes. If we needed to interact with these attributes, we really should use an instance method. So what then would a static method be for? Well, it's some sort of utility that we really want to have attached to this class. Like it's something we're probably going to need to do if we're spending a lot of times working with cats. So let's start out by how do we define a static method? Similar to our class method, we have a decorator. Not too hard to figure out. It's called add a static method. Pretty easy, right? And this decorator is pretty much going to tell Python, hey, this is a static method, so it needs to exist. It's going to exist on both the class and instances, so we can do cat dot, whatever we're going to call this static method, or for something like blue patch instances we've made, they too can use this. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to make a method called def human to cat years. So this is a method. All it's going to do is take in an age. Again, it's allowed to have a parameter. It just can't be self, or again, we shouldn't reference anything like self.age, self.name. So how do we calculate human to cat years? I actually learned in looking this up, it's slightly more complicated than we may have thought. It's not like one cat year equals 7 human years or 1 human year equals 7 cat years. Cats actually age slightly differently. So if the age is less than or equal to 2, cats mature much faster than humans, so their first year and second year of life equals about 12 and a half human years, or basically the 2-year-old cat is about 25 years old. So if the age is less than or equal to 2, what we're going to do is just return that age times 12.5. So far, simple math. We do have our else case because, again, after 2 years of age, what happens with a cat is they really only gain about 4 human years per, or 4 cat years per human year. And let's just change real quick to be something like human age, just so we're not kind of totally confused because it's kind of easy to reverse them. All right, so that makes it a little more clear. Now, our else part, okay, slightly more complicated. So what we're going to do is return. Hey, basically, we already know they have to have 25 years, right? Because again, 2 years of human age, by this above formula, 25 years of cat age. So then what we're going to do is add the human years, or the human age. We are going to take away 2 from that. Oops, and then we'll multiply it by 4. Cool. So let's kind of test this out. Down here, again, since it's returning, right, we're going to need to print something out. So let's print cat. Again, we can call on both an instance and the class. So let's do this. Let's put in an age of 5. Let's comment all these out. Ooh, not that, sorry. Boom. And just to do one more, maybe let's print uh, blue dot human to cat years. Let's actually pass in blue dot age, and let's give this a run and see what it does for us. So, boom, boom, we are all right. I'll do PRHH. Let's do 103. Let's see what we got. So a 5-year-old cat equals 37 human years. Let's see. We'd have 25. 5 minus 2 would be 3 times 4. 25 plus 12. That should give us 37. Outstanding. Now let's look at blues. Blue is 9, right? So we're going to have 25 plus blue's 9 in human age years. So that's going to be 7 times 4 of 28. 25 plus 28 should be 53. Sounds like we are working great here. So again, static methods, very situational. We can call them on both the class or instances. They are a utility helper, like again, it makes sense to have a method to convert human years to cat years attached to cats as well as instances of cats, because if we're working with cats, this may be something we need. Hope you like this video. Always like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here soon with yet another video on class syntax, because we still have a good amount to learn. Have a good one, Python programmers.